Well, suppose now is as good a time as any.
You ever wonder what's in these?
No. I wonder who's gonna pay me more to do anything else in this world. Sick of selling hot dogs to tourists and popping oxys all winter.
And I could murder a hot dog and some.
Thought that, well, I think that low budget horror really has a great way of sort of feeling more real and authentic, given what you have to do to make the moments really hit. And I thought there was a real commitment to reflecting a realistic sense of violence and a realistic sense of sort of terror and sinister energy that I thought worked well, mainly because they had to really take advantage of every environmental construct and every tip and trick they can use cinematically to create a sense of scale and emotion within the piece without access to a huge budget. So I thought that the piece really worked well, mainly because it had a real great sense of the sort of comedy horror dynamic that's often typical in these type of pieces, and I thought it had a real sort of academic understanding of the genre and the type of tropes you expect here, and worked hard to try to be an accurate reflection of those tropes while also trying to pull out a more original angle from what you were seeing. And I thought that the piece mainly worked well because everybody on screen was sort of committed to the stylistic intent of the piece, and I thought they worked well in sort of capturing both the humor and the darkness of the horror in a way that made a lot of sense.
The props for this, like that leech, was so gross, but it was really well done. Like, it didn't look fake or cheesy or anything like that. And I thought that the actor who had the initial attack did such a great job of portraying this person whose mind has really been taking over, like it's parasitic. And just the sounds that he was making, the movements, the really jerky, like, you know, it's not really him in charge. I just thought was really well done from like an acting perspective. And yeah, and seeing how this thing kind of like thrives off of just like being a parasite on your brain, and seeing how it can go from one host to another. Really, really interesting. And I think that, you know, the story could have taken so many different turns from the beginning, like as a consequence of dumping the toxic chemicals. It could have gone in any which way. And I really like the way that this one took.
Fargo kind of meeting Slither is an entertaining hour for certain. Anyone who's fans of these kinds of monster thrillers will certainly find something to enjoy here. The acting is quite good. They really balance kind of everyday humor with the dramatic gravitas needed as well for the piece. They never, don't take the situation seriously enough, but do allow moments of relief amid the constant suspense that's ingrained inside this. It's just, it really crawls under your skin and gets to you.
Scary, but also funny or comedy. We have this Leech back in 1998 that is just trying to expand it, and just trying to. This Leech is in this little rural town, and he's trying just to go on, expand his horizons, and then the local, the citizens, that he basically starts contaminating, like tainting all the locals, basically, until the police comes, and then there is this fight between the Leech and the police, and then the Leech manages to also, I would say, contaminate or turn the police officers. There's a lot of action as well, and I think overall it was very well done. It's a great idea. I love these kind of movies. I love monsters movie, Leech, werewolves, zombies. This was very well done, and there's also an excellent usage of special effects within blood and distorted faces, kind of shit like that. It was pretty fun.
This opening sequence is campy. We get this horror trope executed by formula from the get-go, a chemical being dumped into a body of water. This title card is really fun. The red font balances really well with this green essence beneath the pond. It's a really good pacing to introduce this creature. This leech is huge, by the way. It is an experimental, expressive takeover as the leech takes on his host. These firemen playing cards speak so much to the sheriff character. Very bravo. The guts falling to the floor, him screaming, grabbing attention of the killer, the slip and fall and missing the shot. This is campy horror at its finest. The musical score adds on to the overall sequence here. The special effects team had a lot of fun on this one. It seems as if the leeches are intelligent and able to feel pain through their host bodies. I will say my surroundings sort of intensified this as the police chase occurred. Not only was I hearing sirens on the screen, but I was hearing them off screen as well. LA noise, everybody. And I can say it added to my uncomfortable sensation to what the leech might have been feeling in that moment. Made me kind of empathize ever so slightly. Not enough for me to root for the leech, but I think is still worth mentioning here. It's not often that you see a Black female final girl who's in a leadership position. So when we reach the end here, there is a sort of realistic approach that the writer and director chose to take here.
It had all the great elements of a horror that I like, because it was even a step above actually, because I thought the script was really well written as far as making it believable as to the reactions and the actions of the characters. Meaning, when she was trying to use the phone to call for somebody right before she went running after the guy in the forest to the lake. And it was broken, and she's like, "Gosh, fuck," or whatever she said. But she tried first and then went, where a lot of horror films would have just had the heroine or the hero just running right after them instead of calling for backup. And she tried. So things like that, and the chainsaw in the barn when she was trying to get out of the barn, she picked it up and it broke. Like, that was hilarious to me. Just little moments like that in the script that were comedic during the action and the suspense of it. Really nice underwater shot in the beginning with the chemicals. Good music from the start just to set the tone. I thought the pacing was great as well. And in the shanty, when the two guys were in the shanty and they had the fish locator, and the one guy was asking how it worked, and the other one was like, "You know what? I really don't know." It was just really funny. Cool shot again under the ice hole in the ice shanty when, like seeing up from the hole up to the guy. I thought that was really cool and creative.
It's really entertaining to watch Mind Leech, and I think it also explores some more serious issues and topics using the humor of the genre to look at corruption and pollution and the impact on the environment and what would an imaginary, really horrible situation look like if these things go unchecked. And I think it manages to explore those and create that food for thought while having really humorous and suspenseful approach to it.